Meow, it's Huples Cat. A good friend of the channel, Mary, sent me a RONSON lighter, probably 2 to 3 years ago now, and today's the day I'm going to use it. This will be my first time filling one of these, ever. So what I'm going to do first of all, and I'll put the camera on it, is I'm going to take this out and I'm going to fill this up. And I'm also going to change the wick position and take some stuff out of it and put some stuff back in, because that's what I've been told I should do from the internet. And if this works, I have not one, not two, but 3 vintage lighters to use. I also have some vintage RONSON accessories, which I'm not going to use, and an old-fashioned penknife for trimming wicks and stuff like that. I have this, I have no idea what this is for. It's J. Crow Market Arms Aberdeen, whether that's Canada or Scotland I don't know. And this was made in Austria, and it's a sealed unit with hinges there, and you have this. So I'm not sure what the point of this was. If anybody knows, let me know. Quick aside from a prepping point of view, this is about half empty or a third empty now, and it has never been used, but it was open. So this stuff's not going to last. I'm reliably informed from the internet that a week or so of these, maybe 2 weeks max, and then they will run out. Bics will last years. Of course, when they're out, they're out. Old plate for the drips, open it up, pull it out. Now I need to remove this, and completely, according to the people I've read, so I already loosened it, and I can catch anything on here. So apparently there's a spring with the flint. There's the flint. Okay, so then I need to remove this entirely. Now there's a little hole here, and apparently you can actually fill these without doing any of this, but this is my first use of this one, so I have been told that I have to do this. Now I need tweezers. These are old tweezers from a prep box. You don't use new stuff, especially if your spouse uses it. And then I have apparently 5 of these in here. 1, 2. Now the reason I'm doing this is because the wick is all the way in the bottom here, not the here. So when you put the stuff in, it's going to run out quickly, apparently. So there's the wick at the side. Wow, it's pretty densely packed. There we go. So the wick actually came out, so that's not the best shape for a wick. Do not panic. Now people like trimmed wicks, so that's the side I'm going to put it in. And I'm going to put it in like this. See how easy this is, or not. Anyway, you do stuff like this. Get one side in. Oh, that's where I want it. Now what I'm going to do with this, I want this in the middle as much as I can. So I'm going to repack it with that in mind. And I'm literally going to layer this like this. And the whole point of this is to get this in the middle, according to the stuff I've read online. Now they say to get rid of the packing stuff, and I don't agree with that necessarily. This is what's actually going to hold the oil, so the more of this in here, the more oil will be held. Okay, this is one piece. Not thrilled at touching fiberglass like this, but that's something I won't be doing very often. This is the type of maintenance you would do once when you get a new RONSON, not later on. And I use the terms RONSON and Zippo interchangeably because I don't know anything about them. The online videos I've seen do this so quick, and they're for beginners, that I couldn't follow it. So I'm guessing I dropped this in here, the flint. I don't know though. And then with the flint and the spring I push it in. And tighten this, not too tight. Alright, let's try it again. It's in. Now put the flint in. And then the spring. I guess this is actually teaching me how to change the flint. Tight but not too tight, apparently. Then you get yourself some Zippo or RONSON fuel. They're both the same now because they're both the same company these days apparently. Take this off here and re-secure it. I wasn't kidding, I actually don't know how to do any of this stuff. Alright. And then you want to fill this, apparently, but not too full. Live to fill. Idiots amongst us. Okay, that's full, over full. Kind of felt that coming and ignored it. So because I've absolutely drenched this, I'm going to leave it like that for the time being to evaporate. I'm going to go and wash my hands. Okay, just washing my hands and I'm just going to dry this off, but it's pretty much dry already. Put this back in here. Like so. And let's see if it works. It does. Well, there you have it. I have my first RONSON lighter filled and ready for use. And you can see the flame there. So apparently it's very common for the wicks to be shoved in the top on receipt of this product. So if you have a small flame or it runs out of fuel very frequently, that's probably the issue and that's what you do with it. So thanks, Mary. A couple of observations for a new person. This is really, really hot quite quickly. And I don't like that. But it has some advantages because you can put it down and have a bit of a light in certain circumstances. Disadvantages is petrochemical fuel, which costs money and isn't reusable. And it seems to run out after a few years, at least the bottle I have did. And apparently this will not last more than a week or so with normal use. And the problem is evaporation of the fuel. So let's go from the ultra modern to the ultra old. So thanks very much to Mary for this modern RONSON lighter, which works, and giving me some new skill base to find out. And thank you to the old uncle for leaving this stuff intact. And this is in fact a Fisher lighter made in Japan. I will treasure all four. They're no use, I don't think, as an emergency backup light. I will treasure all four as objects of art, and I will keep them on my bookcase upstairs so people will see them if they look carefully. I still recommend a Bic. They're not that expensive. Yes, they are single use. Yes, if you drop them in salt water they won't work. But that's true of a lot of things, and you shouldn't be that careless with your kit, should you? You can easily put it in a Ziploc bag. Anyway, a lot of these work for a long, long time. You don't have to mess around with flints, you don't have to keep them fueled. I wouldn't object too much to the Zippo or the RONSON if the fuel container itself hadn't obviously evaporated to about a third of its use within about 2 or 3 years. It's just not going to last, and that's the big issue, isn't it? We all prep for stuff that's going to end and everything will be great. Well, if SHTF goes on for a long time, you better have kit that works years to decades after the event. This does work years to decades after the event. Getting the fuel will be the problem. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for watching this. Love you all. Have a great day. Toodles. This has been brought to you by an Overeating Terrier production 2023. Hello, Wolfie.